Hi friends, welcome back to Code India. This is Spritekit tutorial. In the Spritekit we are going to learn update function. We will create endless moving background for games in Spritekit using this update function. Our project will go like this. There will be a image. We will select a background image and we will use the same background image several times and move this background image continuously for our game. So this is a continuously endless moving background that we are going to create. So before we move to our Xcode and create this project, let us learn about the built-in function that are used in the Spritekit that are called with the time lapse. Scene is presented by a present scene. Spritekit calls you every frame if you implement any of the functions shown in this figure. If you don't implement any of the frame cycle functions, Spritekit will only render the scene when something within it has changed, improving the energy efficiency and allowing your game or app to perform other operation instead. So let us discuss what is the update function. The scene update method is called when the time lapsed so far in simulation. This is a primary place to implement your own in-game simulation, including the input handling, artificial intelligence, game scripting, and other similar game logic. Often you use this method to make changes to node or run action in nodes. Other than the update function, what else functions they are used for with the time lapse are evaluate action, did evaluate action, simulate physics, did simulate physics, applies constraint, did apply constraint, did finish update, render the scene. So these are the functions that are used with the time lapse. The update function is called every time the animation is or whenever the scene is rendered or something in the scene has been changed. So we will use this to create our project. So let us begin with the Xcode. So we will create a new Xcode project, select game and create our project with a project name. I have named this project as Demo Moving BG and I will create the next button. Now Xcode is prompting me to select the folder where I want to keep my project. So I am keeping my project inside this Code India project inside the tutorial projects. I will click the create button. Now my project will be created. If you want to know where you have kept the project, you can use this show in Finder and you can find where have you placed your project. I have placed this folder project inside the tutorial project. Now if you suddenly somehow accidentally deleted the created project, you can select the recent project from the Xcode icon and you can open your project or you can go to the folder. Now what we are going to do, we are going to use this game view controller and game scene, and first of all let us clean all the unwanted codes. So I am cleaning all the unwanted code. These are the unwanted code. Update method we are going to use, so we are not going to delete this. I will delete this game scene.sks file because I am not going to use the interface builder. I will do the thing programmatically. So I will delete that. Now inside my game scene, I am going to create a function with a name create a moving BG. So I am creating a function with the name create a moving BG, and inside this function I will add all my code to add the BG. Now what I am going to use, I am going to add the background image to my Xcode project. I have already created the final project, so I am going to select my background image from that final project using the import icon inside my asset folder. So let me add the background image. Wherever I have placed the background image, I am going to select that. I have kept somewhere inside the Code India project. Yes, this is the final project, and I am going to select my asset from here. I am selecting this background. Now my background image has been added. I will use the single scale, and now I will use this background image. Coming to my game view controller class, I am going to create my SKView object, and this SKView object will be the self.view, and self.view will be typecasted as SKView. I am using the latest version of the Xcode, so you can see this is very much faster than the previous one. So I have created the game scene object, and the size of the game scene object will be the size of the SKView. Now I will add, or I will present this game scene to my SKView. Now my game scene has been presented. Now I have already created this function, create moving BG. See, in my project I was having a single image, and I am repeating that single image. So for that we will create a loop, and the number of repetition, this loop will go until the number of time I want to repeat the loop. Let me just repeat this loop for 1 and 2 and see what happened. Let us create my SK sprite node for my background image. I will take the texture background here. The image name will be the name of the image I have placed my asset, and the name of the image I am using is background, so I will use this. Now I will add the size for this background node, and the size will be the size of the width of the scene and the height of the scene. Now I will add the Z position. I am taking the Z position to be 0, and I will add the position. Now this position will vary with I. See, I will use the X position to be the size of the frame multiplied by I, so that my image keep on moving. This will move my image. This will repeat my image several times. So, and the Y position will be the mid of the Y. Now I will add this Spritekit node to my scene. This is all done. I have created a method with a name create moving bg. Now this create moving bg will be called from did move. Now since my create moving bg has been created, I want to repeat this animation forever. For that, I will use this update method. Update method will be called every time the scene will be rendered. So here in this update method, I am using this function enumerate child with node, and the enumerate child with node is going to search the node inside the scene and with the name added. So the name has been, I will use bgnode.name as background, and I will use this background name for enumerate child with node. And this is the block where I am going to put my code. Enumerate child with node will identify my node for which I am writing this code. And the node is background. The name of the node is background. Now this enumerate child with node is going to give me node and error. So what I am going to do, I will just add my logic to make this image repeat forever. So the logic will be, I will just make the X position to be reduced with 2 pixels, and I will check if my X position has reached the end of the screen. In that case, that means node.position.x is less than the width of the screen. Width of the scene is less than the width of the scene, end of the scene. In that case, I am going to position.x is going to, it is giving me an error, and this error is due to the curly braces. So what I am going to do, I will use the X position is less than the breadth of the scene, or my node has reached the end position. In that case, I will multiply the node position dot x with the number of time the loop has been added. See, I am using the loop for 2. So I will create a constant. Let loop number or loop count is equal to 2, and I will use this loop count, and I will multiply the X position dot x is equal to the breadth of the scene multiplied by the loop count. This is going to create an endless loop, because every time the update method will be called, the position will be subtracted by 2, and the X position will be less than the breadth of the scene, and the loop will be added continuously, endlessly. So this is going to create an endless loop inside my update function. Now, since all the error are gone, let me run my code. See,